Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Let's Play Hollow Knight. We took a brief aside into the ancient basin last time. I just climbed back up the way we came in, and look who it is! Oh, it's you again! I'm glad to see you return! No, please, don't say a word. I must apologize for my previous behavior. Entirely my fault. I mistook you for one of those mindless skulking husks, yet you bested me in the most majestic knightly fashion. Such joyful, vigorous combat. I'd almost forgotten the feeling. I was once a knight, you see. By the grace of our good king, I stood proudly before the throne, watching Hallownest swell to greatness. Then that nasty business with the affliction. That nasty affliction business. We knights defend against the physical, but a formless enemy. How to defeat such a foe? Our king tried in his own way, a cruel means it was, and still, eventually, we were brought low. I shouldn't be so morose. You've invigorated me. 'Tis truly a delight to meet one whose strength can match my own. Go now, mighty warrior of Hallownest. You've proven your honor. Good fortune on the path ahead. So the Dung Defender is just the best. He's not even mad we beat that ass so good. In fact, he's like, hey, that was really my fault. I was being the jerk. I was rude. I thought that you were just one of those husks. But nah, you're real cool and strong. I like the Dung Defender. Ah, man. Also, just casually dropping a lot of lore on us. And giving us a good idea of what this story is actually about. He mentions the affliction and the king who he served underneath, trying in his own valiant yet somehow cruel way to contain this affliction, he calls it. So between that, the memorial to the Hollow Knight, all of Hornet's dialogue, we're really starting to piece, I guess, the central theme of this together. Also, notice how ornate all of the backgrounds here are. They have this soft pink lighting. How everything is very pastel. Everything's very secure here. I mean, the entrance to this side was sealed off. Were it not for the fact that we came up from the sewers. It was like this plush little fortress. We can infer from all of this and from how decorated all of the bugs around here are. These are nobles. This is where the nobility of Hallownest held up. Barricaded themselves in this lavish fortress. Away from the affliction? No. But away from the husks the affliction turned. Woo! There is nothing that's immediately gonna get disqualified as a lie. There are so many good game feel moments in this video game. That's one of them, though. Any enemy that does 2 points of damage to you makes a very different sound upon impact. The noise that comes out when you are hit for that much damage is like the world is exploding around you. They make you feel how much harder you got hit than normal. And it's only, you can look at it one of two ways. It's either double the damage you would normally take, or it's only one extra point. And they make you feel like the world is shattering. Oh my god, the game feel of Hollow Knight is so underrated, but it is perfect like every other aspect of the game. Also, those big boys, you can see that's a little bit tricky to bait them into doing their forward swing. And the tell is not that much different from the upward strike. Plus, they have a ton of health and they do a lot of damage, and there's not much of a reward for fighting them, so... Oh, we don't have enough geo for the stag station here. The real one, not the abandoned one directly beneath for the king's station, corresponding directly to the queen's station we found. The big boys are actually not really ever worth fighting. There's no real reason to ever fight them. Because one air dash and you clear them pretty easily. And now, up from the Royal Waterways, the sewers, we can continue on the other half of the City of Tears. Again, where the nobility hold up. Also, it's all sorts of different types of nobles as well, like that one who didn't attack us, just retreated. Then there's the corpulent one with the fancy headdress, who just kind of bounces at you. And then the one who just flails about. But with the Mark of Pride or with the long nail, you can pretty well outrange the flailing. Oh, whoops, oops. Forgot there are 4 hits still. That number's gone down since we got the nail upgrade from the nailsmith. Again, that was also in the City of Tears. But it still does take a couple of hits to take them down. I think it went from, what, 6 to 4? That should be pretty consistent, right? Oops. Oh, we did a little mid-air parry. A clash, rather. Clash parry. They're kind of the same in this game, since you don't have a dedicated riposte or anything. And even the one-hit point of damage swings that you take, they freeze the frame for a while. They do so much to convey the impact of those hits. Plus, you always have all these globules of shadow flying out of you. Like they're beating the shade out of you. Seems like it's contained within that ivory mask, right? This area is so decorated, so full of little luxuries. But what's really clear is that they didn't manage to secure themselves away from the affliction. They just locked away all the rabble. All the less decorated bugs and all the guards, they're still around. They're still with their glowing orange eyes infected down below. They're just segregated out there. I guess the nobles thought they could save themselves from the rabble and stay safe from the infection, but the infection seeped in. The affliction, I should say. That's what the Dung Defender called it. This starts to explain the husks, though. These mindless beings, and why their eyes are orange. Why some of the enemies were expelling orange gas. That might be the affliction, or a cause, a side effect of the affliction, right? They seem to be related concepts, and we don't have that much more to go on. These cushy sofas in the background are like fainting couches. Again, these luxuries that we certainly weren't seeing in the rest of the city. And yet some of them are just trying to run away still. Even in afflicted, even mindless. They're not ravenous, all of them. Oh, this is such a cruel room. They spawn so much in between the nobles and all of these guards, and a lot of combinations of enemies. And you do have to clear all of them because they lock you in the room. It's rare Hollow Knight pulls that trick of locking you into an intense combat arena, but it keeps it scary, it keeps it tense. Because you never quite know when it's going to happen, and they use the trick sparingly, but it's to guard something really vital. Which is the second third of a soul vessel upgrade. We could if we want. Just beeline it back to Dirtmouth. 100 more geo, and I think we'll have enough to afford the one from Sly. But we have no real reason to leave the city just yet, aside from that. It would probably be a lot more lucrative to keep exploring. I need to lower this. We can just ride this up. And this gets us to the geocache that we saw earlier, that we were having a little bit of a hard time getting to. Oh, and we have one more tricky spawn. You know, for being so hefty, those enemies really do not take all that much damage to kill. This feels like the Mask of the Red Death. The Mosque of the Red Death. Came for the rabble first outside the gates. Seeped in and took the nobility just ashore. Now we can take this elevator up. Oh, we have another one of these big boys. First of all, do we have anything to the right? No, we do not. We have a sealed door. Everyone just shut themselves inside. Yeah, you're gonna keep following me, so we will deal with this problem. And this is somewhere brand new. And dead quiet. Kind of like before. Yeah, see, we don't even have a map. This is an option, though. Oh! Desolation. Cursed are those who turn against the king. What is this spooky area? Oh, we have another one of these. This toll machine. There's a slot for some kind of pass. And this is discrete from the other two failed tram stations we saw. But now that they're becoming more frequent, maybe we'll get that pass sometime in the near future. You have very desolate notes, just like the ancient basin. This place is like a cemetery, but all that's buried here are icons. Look at all the statues of different bugs in the background, standing proud. It's like a cemetery and nothing is buried here except icons and culture. To protect the vessel, the dreamers lay sleeping, Monomon the teacher in her archive, surrounded by fog and mist, Lurian the watcher in his spire, looking over the city, Hera the beast in her den amidst the deep darkness beyond the kingdom. Through their devotion, Hallownest lasts eternal. Monomon the teacher, Lurian the watcher, Hera the beast. Dreamers added to the map. Go no further, little shadow. What compels its climb out of the darkness? What compels its return to this sacred kingdom? Return. A call from beyond the seals? By the vessel or by that captive light? Would the seals break? They cannot be undone, but the vessel weakens. That plague springs anew, they must be undone. Yet still our seals remain. Our duty holds, it must be cast away. Our duty holds, it shall be done. Remember, we got all of this stuff about the Hollow Knight making a sacrifice to perpetuate the kingdom. Oh, fade away, little shadow, fade away and let us sleep in peace. Now we have their devotion, these dreamers' devotion, helping Hallownest prosper. Or not prosper, but survive. Oh, the dreamers sleep to protect the vessel. The vessel we know is the Hollow Knight himself. The Hollow Knight is a vessel. That's why he's hollow. The dreamers and the Hollow Knight are linked, and together they somehow help the kingdoms to survive. But what exactly does that mean? What are they doing and how does it preserve the kingdom? What we know is that in the sleep of the dreamers, they let the Hollow Knight do whatever it is it's doing. What a terrible fate they visited upon you, to cast you away into the space between body and soul. The dream, will you accept their judgment and fade slowly away? Or will you take the weapon before you and cut your way out of this sad, forgotten dream? That weapon before us is... Wait for it. The Dream Nail! Cut through the veil between dreams and waking. I told you. Did I not tell you this was gonna go somewhere? Now we see our spirit guide's corporeal form. This is what happens when we strike it with the Dream Nail. What are you doing, poking about in a dusty old mind like mine? Nothing of worth's hidden inside, believe me. We see into their thoughts, but they know. Keep probing the world around you with your Dream Nail. Hidden things will reveal themselves. Oh, the seer, you've returned. Welcome to the waking world. Those figures, the dreamers, they reached out with what little power they still have and dragged you into that hidden place. But that talisman you now wield, the Dream Nail, it can cut through the veil that separates the waking world from our dreams. Even the dreamers themselves cannot hide from such a weapon. Though I must admit, that sacred blade is dulled over time. Together, perhaps, we can restore its power. You only have to bring me essence. Essence, the precious fragments of light that dreams are made of. Collect it wherever you find it and bring it to me. Once we have enough, we can work wonders together. Go out into the world, wielder. Hunt down the essence that lingers there. So we have to bring back 100 essence to them. Still in practice, bring me 100. Oh, this is describing the actual functionality of those little roots we've seen, the small sprouts with circular petals. We strike those with the Dream Nail and something will happen. We find out this is the resting grounds. So striking these with the Dream Nail causes essence to fly about. This is not the only way we collect it. Don't worry, it's not going to be this slow and painstaking all the way through. This also does affect getting the true ending. We don't have to collect all the essence in the game, but we do have to get quite a bit, and we will get every single ending in the game. So let's backtrack a little bit. So we've seen the masks before at the Temple of the Black Egg where the Hollow Knight is, and we saw the Dreamers after the Hornet fight as well. Oh, I forget who's down. Oh, I remember what's down here. These things. Orange eyes, we know it might attack us. Let's try to get a good shot and hit it. Yes, we can hit everything. Anything that's alive with the Dream Nail to probe its mind. Even enemies. This is a little dangerous for now. I think we're going to go back up. See what else we can do in the upper part of this burial ground. So they asked us if the vessel is calling to us. Is the Hollow Knight calling to us? Or are we being beckoned, compelled forward to come back to this place? Because remember, we started here, left at some point, and then returned. That's where the game starts, is our return from the Howling Cliffs to Hallownest. They ask if the vessel, if the Hollow Knight compelled us to come back, or a captive light. A captive light. What the hell could that mean? We did learn that essence are little shards of light that dreams are made of. Maybe they're related concepts. Oh, there's so much! They mentioned that the vessel was weakening, and that the plague was springing anew, as in the vessel was containing a plague, the affliction the Dung Defender mentioned. And now that the vessel, the Hollow Knight, is weakening, that plague is seeping out again. So what we can surmise is the calamity that befell Hallownest was the affliction, some kind of plague. And the Hollow Knight and the Dreamers made some kind of great sacrifice to contain it. And now that the vessel is weakening, the plague is coming back. It's seeping back out. And they don't appear to be able to release the seals, but they recognize that there's kind of like this necessity of doing so. So why? Maybe, perhaps, so something can fix the Hollow Knight. Repair him to contain that plague. Or maybe even replace him. Isn't that an interesting thought? And yeah, we can definitely see the location of the Dreamers on the physical map. The location of the Dreamers outside of that dream realm, that hidden place that we were inhabiting. I think now we will come down here. But we won't try to fight that thing. At least not right now. Instead, we'll smash our way through and just marinate on some of these thoughts. Did I or did I not tell you that from the barest of openings, we were gonna go some directions with this story and with the background of this world? We are going places. I cannot wait to go further, but look at this. Picturesque. Just this expansive blue, peaceful lake. Nothing in sight to bother us. Just this long swim. Nothing at all in our way. Tell me that's not immediately suspicious to you. And I love Hollow Knight. Oh, and just like that, we've connected back to the Forgotten Crossroads, and guess where we are? Look where we've looped to. This is Salubra's house. Just near that first mini-boss we fought, the Gru's mother. We have enough to buy a lifeblood heart. It's worth buying all of her charms anyway, just for the chance to buy more notches in the future. Do you wear a lot of charms at once? It's a lot of fun, isn't it? Mixing and matching them to get the perfect combination. I don't know whether you've noticed, but some charms seem to like each other, yes. When charms like each other, they shine even brighter and sing even more sweetly. Even more reason to try all sorts of fun and surprising combinations of charms. You'll show me whenever you have a new favorite, right? It's a bit of a sin to wear too many charms at once, isn't it? Sometimes less is more. Yes, you shouldn't try to cram on more charms than you can handle. The effect could be positively overwhelming. My dapper gadfly, would you care to know how charms are made? I don't often tell my customers, what with the truth being a little morbid, but you're a sharp one, so you may have guessed already. Few ways a charm appear, but it is mainly a final wish, a dying bug's potent desire crystallized. Now, don't go getting too sad. There are exceptions, of course, and really it's quite beautiful. Makes them all the more precious. Just think of all the little bug souls that went into creating your collection. It's like a crowd of strangers in your pouch or purse or wherever it is you keep them. It's rare enough that someone enters my store, but even rarer to meet one so striking. Those impressive horns, that fierce weapon, the air of mystery, ooh, it's enough to make me swoon. Lot of people swooning over us lately, huh? So Salubra hints at a few things like over charming and charm combos. And that's where we're going to leave off for today. Thank you all for watching. Take it easy. Have a good one.